Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the BMW M240i. Now, if you're an avid viewer of the channel, and I have been for a few years, you'll know that I've already driven this latest generation BMW M240i. But since then, it's actually had a very small refresh on the inside mainly. So what better excuse to get one out and take it for a drive again? But let's start with just updating you on the looks. What do you think? Has it grown on you in the last few years? For me, I think it is a fantastic looking thing. I think the proportions are bang on, especially the side profile. It's so short, squat, and I think it just looks great. The swage line that runs all the way through is so pronounced and fantastic. I love the M Performance wheels with the red calipers here. The front end obviously was very, very different when it first came out with the different lights and the different grills. But what do you think of it? Again, let us know in the comments below. You've got the slightly different design down here to what we were used to in the past, and then the rear again was very, very different. Of course, you've got the signature exhaust pipes on this car to show that it is an M Performance, the model designation on the rear too, the M door mirrors here, which I absolutely love. They always look fantastic. This car is an incredibly well spec'd example in this black sapphire with pretty much every single conceivable pack on the inside. But yeah, the main differences to this car come inside. So let's go and take a look at that. So then, this is where the differences have happened since the last time I drove one of these cars. What's the same to begin with though? You still get the brilliant M seats. The layout is still pretty much the same as it was. However, you've got some small tweaks. There's now no gear selector here, the sort of stick that it used to be. It's now this little toggle down here. But the main difference is we've now got the latest BMW infotainment system, this big, wide, curved screen that runs Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and has one of the latest versions of BMW's system. There's now no air conditioning controls in the center here. It's now done all on the screen. And whilst that might sound quite intimidating to begin with, trust me, it's so easy to get used to. The responsiveness of this screen as well, super, super impressive. The resolution on it is absolutely beautiful. It's a great thing to look at. Steering wheel, exactly the same. This particular car, as I've mentioned, ridiculous specification on it. So it's got the surround view cameras, it's got the Harman Kardon sound system, it's got every single option pretty much on this car, and it is a wonderful place to sit. The great thing is, if you have driven BMWs in the past or own one of the current generations, you can jump into this car or pretty much most BMWs and just know where everything is. They all have their slight differences, have their slight quirks. However, you always know where everything is going to be. Everything's exactly where it should be, in my opinion, and they're just super easy to use ergonomically. But that's enough of that. That's the differences on here. I need to take this thing out and go take it for a drive because, as I remember, that engine is an absolute gem. So, what is the M240i like to drive? Well, it's every bit the fantastic thing that I remember. The main thing is that B58 up front, that 3-litre 6-cylinder petrol is just a work of art. It is buttery smooth when you just want to cruise along like I'm doing now. Let's see what the 240i is like as an everyday car first before we see what it's like when you just flex your right toe a little bit. It is an incredibly usable car on a daily basis. Like this, just pottering around, it is just smooth and serene. There's a slight bit of, I wouldn't say a jiggle, but a bit more of a hard edge to the suspension, which is exactly what you'd expect. This, after all, is an M Performance model. You look out of the cabin, you see the M wing mirrors, and you know that you're in an M Performance car, so of course it needs to feel like that too. But with that little bit of harshness to the suspension, it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like it's crashing about all over the place. It doesn't feel like it's bouncing from pothole to pothole. No. It's still such a smooth, effortless experience. It is just, I mean, I think this car is a perfect size as well. The 240i, the 2 Series platform, is about bang on, I think, for UK roads. For me, I don't need the extra space, don't need any of that. So this car is spot on. You've got plenty of room in here. The cabin is fantastic. I've already run through the new bits of the cabin since I obviously drove this last, with the new display and the new sort of design. It's just a wonderful, wonderful place to sit and spend time. These M seats as well are amazing. They are so figure-hugging and lovely to sit in. But let's be honest, all they do is hint at this car's performance potential, which is fantastic. So let's just move and touch on that B58. As I've mentioned, 3 litre, 6 cylinders, the most silky smooth feeling engine I think in the BMW range. We've got around 370 horsepower, xDrive, all-wheel drive, so all that power is put to the road via all of the wheels. You've got an 8-speed automatic gearbox, which means that 0 to 62 is dealt with in 4.3 seconds, which by any stretch of the imagination is quick. So let's just drop it into sport and see what that's like. Oh, I love this engine. The B58 is just a real work of art. Gear shifts when you want to take control are super responsive. The car just feels like it firms up and just wants to go in sport. And, well, when it wants to go, it goes. It is so quick across the ground, this car. It really, really is. I genuinely think that on a daily basis across some really broken up roads, this thing would keep up with an M2, if not beat it in some conditions, especially in the wet. Honestly, as a point-to-point absolute B-road barnstormer, the M240i is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the way that it picks up, it is so quick, it's so rapid across the ground. The feeling of that throttle pedal is just so smooth, so buttery smooth. The sound is fantastic. Yes, it's not quite as raucous as, say, M135i's back in the day, but oh, I love this engine. This powertrain is just wonderful. The steering is super responsive. Oh, it's just a joy to turn the wheel and a joy to experience. It is a fabulous car to drive. And if you want any more information on the BMW M240i, please use the link in the description of this video to contact your nearest Sytner BMW retailer. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, and I will see you guys again very, very soon.